Today we are fortunate enough to try and test the new Godox Knowled MG1200 Bi. And we'll be comparing this light directly side to side with the Nanlux 1200B. So let's go and let's try this out. Okay, so now we have the light. Oh, my gosh, muscle making. Woo! One thing which is really interesting, the controls are on the ballast, which is basically sometimes easier than having the controls on the lights, especially when the lights are, I don't know, 18 feet high, or when you have 20 of those. One thing really interesting with the new G-mount is that if you remove the adapter, the light shuts. This is kind of a nice security feature for these lights. This is so strong when you look at this with your own eyes when there's no security in it, but this one does offer this. So you just clip it back on and it's gonna go on. Now I guess we need to try this and compare this with the Nanlux. So let's go over there in the corner and try that. Okay, so full flood on this one. Spot flood. So this is what we're gonna test. Both lenses with the Fresnel, shooting on the wall, and then we'll see what the false color what it does. Okay, so now we have the two lights set up similar side by side with the Fresnel lens. So we will be able to compare both lights that I am controlling here with the gaffer's control. And here is the Nanlux. As you can see, there are little parts that are red on the image, but basically the yellow part that you see on the left, this is where when we will put on the Godox light, becomes red. So if I put both lights and I flash them, so this is the Nanlux and this is the Godox. So as you can see, there is more red in the Godox than in the Nanlux. So for people who were saying or talking that Godox light was not as powerful, well, I'm happy to tell you and show this to you that they are. They are more powerful than the Nanlux. We are talking here of a 2/3 of a stop stronger. 2/3 of a stop is kind of substantial because this would basically mean that we would almost have to add another Nanlux light beside it to have the same output as what the Godox is giving us today. That's a lot of light, 2/3 of a stop at that high intensity. Now we're gonna test with bare lights. But when I came to the light and I noticed that to remove the Fresnel from the Nanlux, I have to remove the whole Fresnel with the yoke because Nanlux has got a Fresnel with a yoke. Godox is basically the Fresnel on the light and the yoke is on the light. This could be a little bit more interesting for us or for the gaffers and electrics because it's easier to change. Okay, so now we're gonna remove this. Look, hold this. There you go, perfect. And that's it, we're gonna go try over there. Oh my gosh, the bare bulb. Simply to make sure we did remove everything in front of the lights. This is the Nanlux and this is the Godox. So it's same thing for us. It's almost 2/3 of a stop. So it's a lot of light. Here we are, final thoughts on the Godox 1200 Bi. Well, as you saw in the test, 2/3 of a stop stronger than the Nanlux, which it simply means it's stronger than a 1.8 from ARRI. So I mean, that's impressive. It's nice to have this output available for us cinematographers working on feature films or whatever, where we need a very, very strong output, and this does make it. The Fresnel is very, very small compared to the Fresnel on the Nanlux. I would have loved like a universal mount, but no, it's a G mount, so well, everybody's gonna create their own mounts, but anyway, that's one of the problems. Lumen radio, 2700 to 65 degree Kelvin. The build seems to be very professionally made because we do have this little kind of Godox was made for amateur cinematographers or photographers. And now, seriously, with the MG 1200 Bi, I mean, we're gonna bring these on sets for sure. And as you know, there will be a link somewhere for you to see the other video that is comparing the Nanlux with other lights, the 1.8, the Orbiter, and the 5K Fresnel. So if you take these two tests, you will basically see how much this light has to offer.